increasing number of film festivals screening African stories is not only helping to communicate local narratives to international audiences, but they are also bringing African storytellers together to share experiences. Now, viewers Henok Fente attended such a festival in the southwestern U.S. city of Dallas, Texas, and reports on the challenges African filmmakers are facing to share their stories.
The African Film Festival in Dallas, Texas, screened stories ranging from crime thrillers to indigenous films, documentaries, and everyday life drama. The film 1432 from Ghana has a unique way of telling urban African stories through dance and rap music. Many African countries and communities are known for their well-developed oral and written storytelling traditions, but showing these stories to national and international audiences faces numerous challenges in an underdeveloped marketplace and infrastructure. Cameroonian filmmaker Kang Quintus says it is difficult to find venues to screen their work outside of urban centers, which limits the distribution of their products.
We need more cinemas, we need more avenues that we can project our films. So I think distribution is our biggest challenge, and financing as well.
Quintus says there are only 2 big screen cinemas in Cameroon's capital, Yaoundé. His compatriot Aloysius Ndaisa, who produced this year's hit Bonaventure film, says the challenges are enormous, but the market potential is encouraging.
The first is budget. The second is the technical know-how. It's somehow limited at times. We really have very few film professionals that are ready to come in as a support.
The lack of copyright laws and enforcement mechanisms are also making it difficult for content originators to make profit or just to break even. Despite the hurdles, there are success stories. In neighboring Nigeria, a booming film industry known as Nollywood is breaking the glass ceiling.
I think the importance of African cinema is actually in the stories that we tell. Having to tell our stories the best way we can, and you can trace our storytelling techniques back to, the indigenous storytelling that we all grew up with in the African tradition. It is screening the stories in cinematic language for everybody to have access to. That's the stage that the African cinema is dealing with right now.
As for telling the African story, Liberian filmmaker Dr. Clarice Ford Kula says,
because nobody can tell it like we can. And I say that because in Hollywood, you give Hollywood a story and they tell it the way they want to tell it. But being an African myself, I understand the stories better because I've been there, I've lived it. You know what I mean? So it's so much easier if we tell the stories ourselves. And it's better too because, like I said, we've lived it.
Film festivals organized abroad like the African Film Festival in Dallas, Texas, as well as Pan-African and other national events, attract film crews from across the continent, creating skill, technology, and market-sharing opportunities for festival organizers and film producers.
Not only do we want to bridge the gap between Africa and other regions of the world, we also want to bridge the gap in Africa. Cultural groups, ethnic groups, geographical locations, North, East, South, West Africa. We want to bring the cultures together through film.
Cameroonian filmmaker Aloysius Ndinisa adds, festivals not only bridge gaps and connect cultures, they also open boundaries for new markets.
It is a venue whereby it showcases our product and makes us come to the limelight, like to meet other marketers are interested in marketing films. He is really bringing us closer to the marketers and the marketers coming closer to the producers.
As filmmakers work to overcome their challenges in the production and distribution of their work, one gap remains wide open: the lack of women film producers and the challenges young actresses face to start a career in film.
It depends on your producers, but there are many that take advantage of women. They ask you to sleep with them before they allow you to appear or give you a role in their film. You really have to have courage to be able to succeed and move on in African filmmaking. But we all have hope. Things are changing.
The road to the big screen is tough, but African filmmakers are making progress in the development and distribution of their stories, about their communities, culture, and aspirations. Henok, Fente, VOA News, Dallas.
Well, thank you, Henok.